Walks is doing his own lead-ins. I love that. That's fantastic.
29 foot of odd grunt, or whatever it's called.
Interesting. Ian Cockrell coming to the change bench for Corio. I thought he played pretty well across half-back.
So Cockrell, Walton and Kane Hayes coming to the bench. Corey Lockwood came out on the ground a bit later than everybody else for North Geelong as well. He's now going into the middle of the ground. And Troy Elsinger in there as well. So looks like Paul Price has moved out of the middle.
Need a lift out of Pricey too. Didn't do much that last quarter. Was sensational in the first quarter, and I think he went missing a bit.
I think he was trying to tag Ricky O'Toole a bit. I think they've gone away from that now. I think it's just straight out attack from both sides. So, well, he might actually.
He's waiting for the ground to clear. Eric, do you think there's any point whatsoever in tagging Ricky O'Toole?
No, I think you've got to back yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's a bloke you're
Michael Rowe, one out in the goal square. Nobody else in the 50 metre arc. Interesting.
That's a good move.
And Davey Bigham's got him. So Ricky Bigham's moved up to centre half forward, centre half back, and he is with Rory Priddle still, who's up at the centre line. It's 10-3-63 North Geelong. They lead Corio 9-8-62. Start the third term here at Osborne Park. It'll be Ray Robertson and Shea Walker. They do the battle, and Walker gets it down towards Lockwood. Bounces off him. Cousins gets a kick away towards Bolchevic, who tried to tap it on intelligently. Zitko off the ground. Across half forward for Corio. Walker can't pick it up. Zitko can. Gets a clearing kick towards centre wing. Weiss comes out and Rathje. And over the top it sits for Rathje. Can he get around Gundry? Yes, he can. Breaks free. Gives it a lead. Michael Rowe. One out with Davey Bigger. Rowe uses the body. Strong.
Oh, I reckon he should get 50 as well.
And should get 50, said Eric and also Peter. Adam Gladke says no.
Ooh.
And Michael Rowe comes back with the football.
I'd even say not 50, Eric.
Not 50?
Yeah.
It's almost worth a trip out Tuesday night.
That's what I would have gone for.
Gee, I tell you
That's dirty. That's
AFL, it's an automatic trip on Tuesday night.
That's disgraceful football.
So Michael Rowe will shoot for goal from 20 metres out. Slide angle. Chance to put the Magpies 7 points in front. He comes in and he's missed it. So one behind to Michael Rowe. And they go to 10-4-64, the Magpies. The Devils 9-8-62. Lexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard, a minute and a half played.
Both sides going to try and kick themselves out of it, Pete, are they? They're all missing from 20-25 air. As, well, it's interesting. What have we got?
Now there's a trainer who's in the 50.
If he wasn't on the ground, or was he? Perhaps that's the only rule Adam knows today. So instead of a kick in there, we've got Ricky Bigham with the ball at the 50 metre centre square. So he goes across the ground to Lazarick, and Lazarick of Corio takes the mark. Looking for options further afield. A lot of players in the Corio half, but Rathje, great spoil from behind over Ricky O'Toole, but gee, just crashes his way through the pack there. Ricky O'Toole picks the ball up. Unfortunately, it's over the boundary line. So back in the arms of the boundary umpire. True centre wing, outer side. Boundary umpire to put the ball in. Walker doing the ruck work against Robinson. Terrible throw in. Walker runs forward, grabs it, tries to crash through a tackle, can't get rid of the footy. Burns picks it up for North. He's also tackled strongly, and the handball just drifts back over the boundary line. So we'll have the boundary umpire doing it again. I suggest we'll need a bit better throw in from that side on this occasion, because it's fairly short. So boundary umpire again with Robertson and Walker. Not much better throw in. Robertson gets the ball down. Hearn can't control it. It's Walker with body strength. Taps the ball forward, but again pushed over the boundary line, this time by McCarthy of North. And well, it's sort of a nothing event, Pete, for 3 minutes. Nothing much has happened apart from the shot at goal from Michael Rowe.
And unfortunately, what it's allowed the teams to do is push across and push across and push across. And now they're all the players are on one side of the ground.
Rathje gets the ruck contest down towards O'Toole. Rathje got it back to Lockwood, tries to handball it back in board, looking for Hearn. Cousins chops it off. Hearn's there as well. Kick smothered by Cousins, and he breaks free on centre wing. He takes on Priddle. He got the handball away towards Burns, who got one high and made sure the umpire saw it too. And Mark Burns on centre wing will take the free kick for the Magpies. He's got Rathje short. He elects to go short to David Gibbs instead. He takes the mark. Still on centre wing on the outer side. He goes towards centre half forward. Flack over his head. Falls into Weiss's arms. Turns around on 50. Goes to the left foot towards Michael Rowe. Comes out and hits him on the chest and takes the mark. And will shoot from 20 metres out directly in front. Daryl Jones runs down. He hits Sid on the chest from 10 metres out. Sid. He thought about running on too, didn't he, Daryl? But 302 games, or 303 games, I think it might be now. Daryl Jones goes back and will shoot for goal from 10 metres out. Really in the same spot Michael Rowe had it a couple of minutes ago.
Bit closer in, though, I think.
Bit closer in. Daryl Jones comes in and just squeezes it in, Sydney. Just squeezes it in for a goal to Daryl Jones. He's first. And the 11th for North Geelong. They go to 11.470 and they lead Corio 9-8-62. Lexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard, 4.5 minutes played.
Pete, I think that goal's far more significant than the one he kicked in his 300th game.
Yes.
A lot more hanging to that one.
Well, I think it's certainly necessary for North, and I noticed Jonesy's kind of making his way back to the centre of the ground. They have had a real stoke up actually, North Geelong. They've moved their side around quite considerably.
I think Daryl's actually still
he's
progressing towards centre half back, but it was good running from him. And when you get players from half back prepared to run forward, and they've got the skill to give the ball to them, that's good. But you know, Weiss, I think he had the ball centre half forward, didn't know which foot to kick it with, and eventually found Michael Rowe. But Michael Rowe's not confident at the minute. So umpire Burley with the footy in the middle. Robertson and Walker. Walker gets the tap down for Corio, trying to crash his way through the pack as Barry O'Toole gets a handball out, goes to Walker, over the top to Cullen. Cullen by hand over the top to Charles. Charles to Tate, who's running, and this is good. A good build-up by Corio, and Tate has hit the post. Well. What a disaster, because a brilliant build-up for them. Corio would have been the perfect answer within 30 seconds, but they've only got it behind. Lexus Wyndham scoreboard, North Geelong 11.470. They lead Corio 9-9-63, and that's 6 minutes into the third quarter.
Good backman, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's a bit harsh. So Mario Zitko had kicked the footy in, but the
Who
goal...
was that?
Mario Zitko. Well done, Peter. Had kicked the ball in, but the goal umpire wasn't quite finished, so he'll do it again. Goes towards Jones. Off his hands, Dabrowski's there. Handball to Rivet. Away, 35 metres out. Goes to the right boot. Wobbly kick. And Zitko takes a mark and plays on. Goes with the left foot kick towards half back. Dabrowski's there, and he can pick it up. Got a bit of time to get around. No, he sits and waits, gets a shepherd from Shea Walker, goes with the right foot kick back to whence it came. Daryl Jones goes back and takes a great mark. Doing it at both ends of the ground at the moment, Daryl, and he's taken the mark. Goes with the right foot kick short, over the top's okay, and finds Mario Zitko. yes, Peter, Mario Zitko.
He's made to earn it too.
Outside 50, defensive 50, goes towards centre wing, the lead on from Weiss. He goes up, can't take the mark. Dabrowski off hands, goes with the left foot kick towards centre half forward. Great kick. And finds Matty Cullen. Was going to handball to Rivet. He's pretty good though on the left. The Mull, and he goes towards Tate. Great play by Fries to knock it away. Now it's a foot race. Daryl Jones and Jason Rathje. Rathje will get there first. Can't pick it up though. Fries. Well, Rathje can. He did bend over and pick it up then. Then with a left foot kick. Terrible kick off the boot. Goes back towards the middle. Hearn will run out at pace and pick it up. Handball to Weiss. Standing start. He was going to handball it. He should have probably in the end. That kick across the ground. Elzinger and also Cousins. Doesn't sit for either of them. Coming in at Davey Bigham. Cousins leads in the race for the football. On centre wing on the outer side. Picks it up. Goes with the right foot kick over his shoulder towards half forward. Zitko and also Bolshevik seed over the boundary line for a throw in.
3/4 time AFL. Hawthorn 12-8. Fremantle 10-7. And 23-minute mark in the third quarter. Melbourne 12-5. Geelong 10-7.
Should have picked Melbourne. Boundary throw in. Half forward flank for Corio out of side. It'll be Ray Robertson up against Shea Walker. Thrown in. Rathje in the end gets it away. Holds to the umpire. And it will be a free kick to Corio. Coming back to Shea Walker. So he's got it on half 40. Handballs it off to Ricky O'Toole. Goes to the right boot. Pops it up in the forward pocket. Boyle going up. Gibbs. Can't take the mark. And it's a push in the back. So Phil Boyle will have it in the right forward pocket. Chips it back inboard. Finds Davey Bigham. So he will shoot for goal from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Chance to bring Corio to within 1 point once again, and he's chipped it short and found John Cousins. And now he will shoot for goal from directly in front.
Pretty poor marking, Pete, from North Geelong defence there.
They've had they've had 3 little chip passes that wouldn't have gone more than 10 metres in any direction, and North Geelong are still content just to stand there with their hands on the hips and let it be a goal.
Cousins has done exactly that. Put it through for his second goal, and the 10th for Corio. They go to 10-9-69. They trail North Geelong 11-4-70 on the Lexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 9 minutes in the third term.
You really feel, Pete, the momentum's with Corio at the moment. Is that a fair assessment?
I made the comment earlier that with the pace that the game started at, early in the second quarter, North Geelong seemed to be well behind. They were content to walk into the contest. If the game was down the other end of the ground, they were walking up the ground and not running up the ground. And I think they look a bit tired.
So umpire Gladkey in the middle, puts the ball in there. Robertson and Walker. Tap comes down. Cousins again, picks it up. Can't take control of it. Weiss tries to handball to Lockwood. Gets one in the back. Weiss handball to nobody, but it's gone to the advantage of North because Gibbs, David, has picked it up. The lead is out.
That's a free kick.
Rory Priddle surely held by the arm on that occasion. Now Michael Rowe has picked it up. He's got Jason Rathje in the goal square, but unfortunately he's gone goalwards, missed and got behind. So third behind to Michael Rowe, and the 5th to North Geelong. 11-5-71 on the Lexus Wyndham scoreboard. They lead Corio 10-9-69, and it's 10 minutes into the third quarter as Ricky O'Toole is doing the kicking in for Corio. Long kick, it's outside 50. Robertson, got his fist on the ball, comes to ground. Gundry and Burns, neither of them can control it, and off their hands it's over the boundary line. Between centre wing and half forward flank, outer side at Osborne Park, with the boundary umpire again in possession. Interesting, young Chris Fry has been given a big task on Justin Tate, doing it well. Ball comes in. Russell Hearn can't pick it up. He's being tagged by Dabrowski. No free kicks at the umpire. Comes out to Charles. Kicks around the corner. Matty Cullen attacks the footy. Picks it up. Away on that left foot. Kicks it back towards the centre half forward position. Fryers again. Just speaking of him. But Cousins attacked the footy pretty hard. Picked it up. Goes long to full forward. And inside 50, it's Barry O'Toole's taken the mark. Kicks it high. Well, I don't know where he's kicked it. Must have been having a go at the goals at the finish. It's certainly wide and offline. So a behind to Barry O'Toole, he's third. And on the Lexa Wyndham scoreboard, Corio 10-10-70. They trail North Geelong 11-5-71, 11 and a half minutes, third quarter.
Kick in by Mario Zitko, finds Jones, goes with the right foot towards Fries and Lockwood. Fries goes up off hands, falls into Lockwood's arms, gets a shepherd from Hearn, goes with the right foot kick towards David Gibbs at half forward, lets it sit and run. Now Gibbs, can he pick it up? Will it sit for him? No, it won't. Dabrowski's right behind him, does very well. But Flack in there, does well, motors along on the right boot, kicks over his shoulder, and it's put it out of bounds on the full. It'll be Corio's free kick in the right back pocket.
Is he just acknowledged Rory Priddle, because Rory was at the head of the goal square, and I don't think there was any strong words said, but at least recognition that that's where it should have gone.
So it'll come back, and it will be Ricky Bigham with the free kick. Nobody's standing the mark, so he can now Priddle moves across, so he stands it, goes short towards Troy Gundry, can't take the mark. Off hands, Jason Rathje on his right boot, back to whence it came. Priddle, Rowe goes up, touched, and through for one behind to the North Geelong side. So they now go to 11-6-72, and they lead the Corio side, who are 10-10-70. That's on the Lexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard.
Ricky Bigham kicks the ball in and finds Cousins. Cousins takes the mark on the stand side, goes back in the middle of the ground. Big mark overhead by Weiss there. Shocking kick by Weiss. Tries to find Flack, but it's all Corio back there as Lazarick picks the footy up, goes wide. Oh, great work, Burns. Read it very, very well. And head there of Ricky O'Toole has taken the chest mark. So good reading of the footy by Burns. Goes back outside 50 by hand to Flack. Flack off one step, goes goalwards. It's going to land, well, it's off hands, right beside the behind post. It's out of bounds. So deep in the attacking area again for North Geelong, kicking to the southern end in this third quarter. 13 minutes gone. 10-10 Corio. Trail North 11-6. 2 points in the game as the boundary umpire puts it in once again.
Jason, it reminds me about, just like the movie Something About Mary.
Kick comes back towards Russell Hearn, and I'm not touching that, and goes back towards Gibbs. If only it was television. Gibbs goes back towards half forward.
I've got him. I've got him
Dabrowski,
cracked up.
what a
Dabrowski,
great
great tackle by Elzinger. Got the handball away towards Ricky O'Toole over the top towards who was that running through? That was Walker. Got it away to Dabrowski again. So they've gone to centre wing. He goes wide, looking Bolshevik, and has found him. Bolshevik kick over the top, the lead on from Matty Cullen. No mark overhead. Yes, said the umpire, and Peter's not happy. Cullen's taken the mark. Now he plays on. Terrible kick off the boot. Coming out, Boyle sits for him nicely. Needs a handball pass. He had it, but he set Bolshevik up in the end, and North Geelong had the numbers, and he's then paid holding the ball, which he never had. But anyway, Zitko has got the free kick in the right back pocket for the Magpies.
And deserves it.
And
only because it's Mario. Zitko.
So danger to Friars, and King has chopped it off. Matty King doesn't kick a goal ever. Now he does. Matthew King has kicked the goal. The most honest, reliable defender in the Corio side has walked up the ground and kicked the goal, chopped it off, and that is Corio's 11th. They go to 11-10-76, and they take the lead from North Geelong. 11-6-72. Lexa Wynnum, third quarter scoreboard, 15 minutes played.
And it's a bit scary, Eric, when that turnover leads to not only a goal, not only a changeover of the lead, but one group of players all standing despondent with their heads down, and another lot all running in to congratulate the goal kicker.
It's the other thing, Pete, you don't just stand and wait for the ball to come to you to mark it on your chest. Chris Fry was just a bit stiff. He had to run forward, only had to go forward a yard, and he would have been okay. And it's a significant move as Rory Priddle comes off the ground. Ball thrown up in the middle, kick forward for Corio. Coming through in defence there was Perkins. Can't kick it though, handballs it. Davey Bigham picks it up, and I'll tell you what, Bolshevik has taken a mark. Thought about handballing to Barry O'Toole running past, and well, Zitko just, I guess, lost concentration ever so slightly. The kick a moment ago went astray, and now his opponent, Bolshevik, 25 metres out, 45-degree angle, with certainly it looks like Lee Clifford behind the goals, telling him where it's got to go. So a very important kick, because the momentum, as we said a few moments ago, all with Corio at the moment. They've just hit the front. Now if Bolshevik can kick this as he comes in, it's not a real good looking kick off the boot, but I tell you what, I think he's done enough with it. The goal umpire has said yes, he has. So Bolshevik kicks his second, and Corio their 12th. 12-10-82 Corio. All of a sudden open up a 10-point margin on North Geelong, who are 11-6-72. Lexus Wyndham scoreboard, 16 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I think the
Danger signs.
Yeah, it is very dangerous. I think this is the biggest margin Corio's had in the game, and they're full of running, and the opposition are a little bit despondent at the moment. I think they really need to go back to basics and just man up and just run with their player for 4 or 5 minutes.
Getting it down the middle, Walker again, goes towards Troy Elzinger, tried to get the handball away, but fell into Ricky O'Toole's arms. Now it goes towards O'Toole again on centre wing. Elzinger did very well, slung him to the ground. Now coming in, Ferguson. Also there was Cousins, who got it away, goes towards Friars. If Tate's there also, Hearn gets it away to Jones. He goes short to Ratchie, and Ratchie holds the mark on centre wing. Got Weiss in the middle. He was going to go there. Oh, Gundry. Be very careful on the mark there. Now he goes to the left foot towards half forward. Robertson in front, Bigham tried to tap it on. Flack picks it up, gets the handball away. Cousins does well to get there first and see it over the boundary line for a throw in.
Three-quarter time, AFL Melbourne 12-6-78, Geelong 10-7-67.
So three-quarter time at the MCG. The Demons with the lead. Now, boundary thrown at half forward. Robertson. Over the back, Hearn taps it down to Lockwood, does well, left foot kick, goes up in the air, Burns going up, also Dabrowski takes the mark, wants to play on quickly. He's at half back, runs away, goes to the right boot towards centre wing, aim on Charles, stands there and takes the mark. He's got outboard, he's got Gundry, handballs it to him, goes to the right boot, wobbly looking kick, Perkins can't take the mark. Jones is there also coming across McCarthy, backed himself, handball wide, further afield towards Perkins in the boundary line again. Gundry tried to keep it in, did so, but Perkins picked it up and runs away at defensive 50. Kick was smothered though by Rivet. The big man put his arms up and smothered the football. It's just inside the 50-metre arc.
That was the big basketball block, wasn't it?
It was the big block. And it will be a ball up just inside 50 for Corio. They lead 12-10-82. North Geelong 11-6-72. 10 points the difference. Now, thrown in the air. Rivet gets it down with a big fist. Kicked away by McCarthy. Goes towards Burns at half back. Handball. Tried to shuffle it out towards Hearn, but didn't get there. Charles, his handball chopped off by Lockwood. Gives it away to Weiss. Left foot kick. It's okay to Rathje, who's running on centre wing. Goes towards centre half forward. Great play by Zitko to make it up at centre half forward, but it's a foot race. Lazarick bears down on him. In front, Zitko needs some support. Had it and lost it. Then gets it back towards Scown, who runs through the middle, leaves it behind. No, Dabrowski. Kick off the ground. The soccer skills coming in for Andrew Dabrowski. Goes towards centre wing. Foot race. Fryers and Tate get across there. Fryers in front and sees it over the boundary line for a throw in. Right in front of our commentary box on centre wing. We've been playing 19 and a half minutes in the third term. Ray Robertson to come and do the ruck work against Shea Walker. Boundary umpire throws it in. Walker taps it away towards Barry O'Toole. Taps it back towards Robertson. Kick off the ground by Lazarick's okay. Luck's a fortune. Falls to the arms of Davey Bigham. Handball to Ricky O'Toole at the back end of the centre square. Goes with the right foot towards Amon Charles. Can't take the mark. Needs some support. Coming through the middle was Ferguson. Left it. King was there and does well. Goes on the left boot towards half forward. And Jones getting back there, gets a hand to it. Bolchevic, though, keeps his feet where Jones doesn't. Runs inside 50. He's 35 and closing. And he has kicked it across the goal. And out of bounds for a throw in the left forward pocket.
I think Zitko's now on the forward line for North.
He is. Dabrowski's picking him up. So a couple of changes by North Geelong. And it will be a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Corio. And we see Walker coming off and Walton coming on the ground for Corio. Now a throw in. The ruck contest. Well, Phil Ball got it down in the end towards the front of the pack. Clifford on a string. He had the footy there. Goes, turns around with the right boot and kicks it too far away from the goal. Punts through in the end by Justin Tate and through for a rush behind to the Devils. So they go to 12-11-83 and they lead North Geelong 11-6-72. Lexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard, and we have been playing 21 minutes in the third term. Now kicking in David Gibbs, who looks like he might have gone to the back line. He runs away from Boyle, backs himself, gains 30 metres. Wobbly kick, but it might be okay. Finds Burns. Burns turns around, goes short in looking for Walsh, finds him, takes the mark. Now Walsh is just holding it up in the middle. He hasn't got much to kick to. He's got Rathje on his outside. Well, he'll have to kick it soon, and he goes now towards Zitko, who can't take the mark. Gundry, handball it away towards Dabrowski. He gets the kick away towards half forward. Lazarick's running. He's got Davey Bigham's support. Takes a bounce, backs himself, goes to 55, drills it short. Not a very good kick in the end. And they're going to be able to turn it over North Geelong towards Scown on the opposite side, half-back flank. Meets it, handball. Oh, was nearly going to go towards Gibbs. That was Daniel. He ends up going with to David Gibbs. Now he goes back towards Weeson Jones. Jones takes the mark at half-back. Jones kicks on the outboard, looking for Corey. Lockwood has to make up a bit of ground, does so. Takes the mark on centre wing, gives it to Perkins, who runs. Now he's got a short kick to Ferguson, sets it up for him, though. King, Ferguson got a hand to it. Over the back was Ricky O'Toole, who clears again for the Devils. Goes long towards Amon Charles. He's done that a couple of times this quarter. And he takes the mark in front of Lockwood. Goes back inboard, looking for Matty Cullen. Cullen will want to get around on that left boot or the handball. Handballs it away to Walton. Now at the centre square point at half forward, goes towards Clifford. Might sit for him. He gets a hand to it. He's pretty laconic, the old Clifford, then runs away, shows a turn of speed, and chips it over the top to Davey Bigham. Great little bit of skill from Lee Clifford, and finds Davey Bigham 30 metres out from goal.
Corio's team seem to have set their big guns up across the half-back line, Eric. They've pushed them back. Ricky O'Toole's come back. Cousins has come back. Barry O'Toole's come back. And they're all kind of forming a line across the half-back line and just repelling every move North Geelong make.
So Davey Bigham has come in and kicked goal number 2 for him. And that is goal number 13 for Corio. They go to 13-11-89. They lead North Geelong 11-6-72 on Alexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard. 23 and a half minutes played.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point you make, Pete. They're using the half-back line basically as a springboard of all their attacks, and they just seem to run forward in droves from centre half-back, and North Geelong just don't seem to have any answers at the moment.
And you are right. I'd like to count how many times in the last 2 quarters since Corio have taken a bit more of a control that Ricky O'Toole has kicked it to Eamon Charles.
Yeah. From the tap down, it came to said Ricky O'Toole, handball to Dabrowski, breaks a tackle, gets on the right foot. The wind held that up to centre half forward. Jones in front, gets it down, but picked up by Clifford again on the left foot. Oh, magnificent kick has found Barry O'Toole. Pinpoint accurate, that left foot pass. And Barry O'Toole inside 50 on the Melbourne Road side of Osborne Park here. I think he fancies himself to kick a goal because all the options are now gone. He's going to have a shot. 45 degrees. Kicking from about 40 metres. So Barry O'Toole almost behind him as he moves in to have this kick on goal. Barry O'Toole now moves forward on the right foot. Good looking kick, but it's drifting across, hasn't quite made the distance. Comes off hands in the goal square. Picked up by Clifford. Can't take it, unfortunately. Picked up. No, it wasn't picked up. Good work by North. Russell Hearn finally gets it. Chips it wide from the full-back position to find Scown on half-back flank, and Brad Scown for North has the mark, but he's got no one to kick to at all. It's all Corio. So North Geelong players will have to push up, and they're blocked off every time. The ball was touched off the boot, comes to ground. Priddle looks for a handball, can't get it clear. Just weight of numbers there for Corio. Ricky O'Toole grabs it on the left foot. Unfortunately, he's flung as he kicks the footy, and it's straight over the boundary line on the full. So Russell Hearn now takes the mark, goes in towards the centre of the ground, and Weiss takes the chest mark. Looking now to move the ball on quickly. He's got Walsh in the middle. He's got, who was that? Ferguson coming up. Handball comes back to Walsh. Doesn't know what to do with it. Finally coming through is Ferguson. He's, magnificent goal from the young fella. He's grabbed it 35 metres out directly in front and gone bang off the right foot and has kicked a much needed goal for North Geelong. 12-6-78. North Geelong. They trail Corio 13-11-89. Lex to Wyndham scoreboard, and that's 26 minutes now into the third quarter.
It's a fair pickup and goal.
That was good. At least he backed himself to first of all put himself in a position to get the ball and then get it and then kick straight. Laurie would be proud. Much
needed goal for the Magpies, and they get their 12th, so they get back to within 11 points in this third term. We've been playing 26 minutes, and it'll be Rob Walton up against Jamie Weiss in the middle.
Corio have been a bit more effective in the middle with their ruck alternation, Pete, and certainly at ground level they've killed them.
Well, I think Weiss and Robinson are trying hard, but I don't think that they've actually had too many points over Shane Walker.
Hearn from the middle, goes long, Flack doesn't sit for him, Lazarick against him, Flack got away Ferguson, 2 in a minute, left foot this time, no, just misses. And one behind to him, 1-1. They go to 12-7-79 North Geelong. They trail Corio 13-11-89. And that's on Alexa Wyndham third quarter scoreboard. 27 minutes played.
They basically did this a bit against Werribee a few weeks ago, Jason, didn't they, North? They had a bit of a sleep for a couple of quarters and then rattled home in the last quarter. The only difference today is I think they're kicking against the Breeze in the last quarter.
So Dabrowski from fullback plays on, gains 10 metres, goes to the outer side, half-back flank. Sets it up for Tate. Ratchie against him. Also in there was Gundry. Ratchie did well. A second effort. Handball back to Fry. He's going to be under pressure. Great smother by Davey Bigham. In there Gundry and O'Toole. Gundry gets it away. Handball to Bigham. Handball back. Nearly set up Gundry again. Handball over the top towards Walton. Handball back towards the boundary line, and O'Toole can't keep it in. And it will be a boundary throw in between wing and half forward.
Did fairly well, North, to recover that, Pete. I thought Corio away and running, but...
They made them turn inside themselves a couple of times, and really you can't afford to do that. You've got to push the ball out into the open spaces. They turned, and then they had no option but to go to the boundary line.
Ball comes to Lockwood, then to Weiss. He kicks it across the ground, looking for Burns in the middle of the ground's okay, and takes the mark. He's going to play on around Dabrowski. Yeah, come back a couple near edge. Now Burns goes to the other side, looking for Ferguson. To the commentary box side, looking for Ferguson. Matty King makes up a bit of ground. Handball towards Walsh. Can't pick it up. Does well. They get to Shepherd now. He's going to be under pressure. Sets up Simon Flack as well. Handball back to Welsh. They're mucking around with it at half forward. Tried to get it away to Ferguson. Dropped the footy. And Andrew Dabrowski will take it at half back for Corio. Plays on. Cross half back. Walks on because he's got a corky, I think. And he goes backwards towards Tate's okay. Now he handballs it inboard to Ricky O'Toole. Handball back towards Tate. Chopped off nearly by Rathjeep. Tate handballs it away towards Gundry. He gives it back to O'Toole. They're running across half back. Still across half back with the kick short towards Davey Bigham. and he takes it, plays on quickly, goes out wide and finds Gundry. Now Gundry from half back goes towards centre wing. In the middle, Walton can't take the mark. At the front was Weiss, tried to bring it out towards Hearn. Off hands through the middle, and still there McCarthy can't keep it in, and it will be a boundary throw-in on centre wing on the outer side.
So boundary umpire calling the football back. See Rory Priddle back on the ground as the umpire. True centre wing, outer side here. 29 minutes gone in the third quarter. Ball comes in. Rory Priddle waiting at the back. Can't take the footy. Kicked off the ground for Corio, but Priddle runs back on. Oh, kicking in danger, and the umpire sees it that way. And McCarthy of North Geelong to take the free kick. Half-back flank, handball across to Priddle. Priddle on the left foot, drives to the lead there of Rathje. Good, strong mark there ahead of Gundry. And Rathje of North Geelong has taken the mark. So centre wing, outer side, Rathje, long kick. Looking for Lockwood. O'Toole's in front. Lockwood gets a handball over to Walsh. Walsh doesn't know where to go. Handball wide, looking for Flack. Flack on the left foot. Goes toward the goal square. At the back is Michael Rowe. Name written all over it. The only fella that had the drop on Calvin Keating was in front on his own. I think Burns was the only player likely to interrupt Michael Rowe's mark, and he's now put, I don't know, they take the mark in the goal square. Well, the siren has sounded, so this is a very, very vital kick for North Geelong. Michael Rowe, after the siren, moves in. He's kicked it right through the middle. That's his first for the day. And at three-quarter time, the Lexington Wyndham scoreboard will be North Geelong 13-7-85. They trail Corio 13-11-89.
Mate, that's probably a good goal for Michael Rowe, let alone North Geelong.
In that third term, North Geelong, they kicked 3 goals 4, while Corio, they kicked 4 goals 3, and it's 4 points of difference at the last change. The goal kickers for Corio, 4 to Lee Clifford and 2 each to John Cousins, John Bolchevik and Davey Bigham. Singles to Matthew King, Phil Boyle and to Matthew Cullen, while for North Geelong, 3 each to Simon Flack and to David Gibbs. And singles to Troy Elzinger, Daryl Jones, Paul Price, Jason Rathje, Andrew Ferguson, Rory Priddle and Michael Rowe. It's 4 points of difference at three-quarter time. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will have hopefully North Geelong back on the ground, because at three-quarter time they've gone in to the rooms at three-quarter time. Would you believe that? Strange things in 2 weeks in a row. Eric, we're getting used to this at the moment. As we said, three-quarter time, it's 4 points of difference. We'll take a break.